clear to you guys right now, right? Okay, now next topic we are having is queue. Everyone heard this term queue, right? We
Yes,
have
sir.
you have heard this term at the time when we begin with the syllabus introduction of data structures, right? And can anybody tell me which type of data structure is queue?
Linear type.
Okay, linear time. That means what it means by linear type? That means we are going to store data. We are going to store data in linear
One
fashion
after
only.
another.
Right, right. So it's also a linear type of data structure, or we can define it as ordered list or collection of elements of similar data type, right? As in case of array, right? But little bit difference in the working pattern is there in case of queue. Like in case of stack, we what we have done. Working procedure of stack. Can anybody tell me working procedure of stack? How it insert and delete data
One and
FILO.
only.
from one end only, right? It is very much correct. So in case of stack, we are going to insert any data element or delete any data element from one end only, right? That means unidirectional. But in case of queue, it will be bidirectional, right? You can insert from one end and access those data from other end or delete from other end, right? That means queue will follow LIFO rule, right? What it means to say it is bidirectional means queue will follow LIFO rule or FIFO rule, first in first out or last in first out, right? Okay, now why we have created queue? What is the practical example of this? Have you ever seen queue? Let's say
Yes,
if
sir.
if you go to the bank, they will generate a token number to you guys, right? According to your arrival, right? You can see here if you are going to the bank and there are multiple counters, and if you have only one counter working, because these all counters are closed, these all counters are closed and only one counter is working, then what how these they follow the rule? Simply whichever come first will be served first. If you are first one, then they definitely you are going to be served first, right? If you come second, you are going to be served second after one, in the linear way. That means it's a type of queue, right?
Yes, sir.
You are maintaining a queue. So that's how, from the real world example, we come up with the fundamental of queue data structure, where we are going to insert from one end and access those elements from second end, right? So it is similar to your array, but with the constraint that insertion and deletion will be performed from both ends, right? Okay. Now let's say in case of stack, you have only one pointer to access the stack elements, which is top, because you are accessing the elements from one end only. That's why you have only one index numbering to access those. But in case of queue, you will be having two access points, right? From one access point, you will going to insert like this, and from other access point, you are going to be
Leaf.
delete any item from the queue. So in the diagram, you can see the there will be two index numbering which will be used to access the data and inserting the data. First one is denoted as front. In case of queue, we are using front and rear. We are giving them the name as a front and rear. Front means from which end we are going to take the data or access the data, right? That's why it is calling front. If it is a queue, this will be your front and this will be your rear. And second index pointer we have rear, and we are going to insert any item from the rear only. So we are naming it as rear in case of
the data, sir.
in case of Q, right? Right, guys? So
Yes, sir.
why this is applicable where what is the scenario where you apply this Q method? If you found the practical example of banking here, you may know that whenever we have a circumstances where we have a common or shared resource or common or shared medium which by which we can take service from, then only Q will be applicable there, right? Then we will maintain a Q for that. Okay, that's how that's the thing about basic things about the Q. So this will be our Q, right? And in case of stack, whenever we delete any item, we address it by pop, and whenever we are going to insert, we are using push, right? But in case of Q, those will be referred as DQ and InQ. InQ means insertion,
Yes, sir.
insertion, and DQ means deletion, right? These will be the basic operations, right? So now come to the as we understood that it will be a look like array, and it will be same like array, but with the constraint that we will insert from one end and delete from other end, right? Or access from other end, right? So by using those front pointer and rear pointer, we will manage our queue operations, right? Okay. अब जब ये क्लियर हो चुका है कि भाई अब जो हमारा क्यू है वो एक एरे टाइप का ही है, बट एक कंस्टेंट लगा दिया कि हमने इंसर्शन एक एंड से होगा और डिलीशन दूसरे एंड से होगा, ये कंस्टेंट है। अगर ये कंस्टेंट फॉलो हो रहा है इसका मतलब वो क्यू की तरह बिहेव करेगा, उसे हम क्यू बोलेंगे। अगर ये पैटर्न फॉलो नहीं हो रहा है, दैट दैट डजंट मीन कि हम ये इसे हम क्यू बोलें, राइट? यहाँ तक तो बात समझ में आ गई, बेसिक तो समझ में आ गया। और कब हम इसे यूज कर सकते हैं? जब हमारे पास कोई चीज कॉमन है। लेट्स से कि भाई हमारे पास काउंटर एक है और सर्विस लेने वाले X1, X2, X3 बहुत सारे यूजर हैं, तो ऑब्वियसली बात है एक काउंटर जो है आपका, काउंटर एट ए टाइम केवल एक को ही सर्विस दे सकता है। तो अगर वो एक को ही सर्विस दे सकता है तो वो क्या कैसे उसे मैनेज करे? तो वो उसने रूल लगा दिया कि भाई जो भी पहले आएगा मैं उसे पहले सर्विस दूंगा। तो वही हमारा क्या है, फर्स्ट इन फर्स्ट आउट रूल। जो भी पहले आएगा उसे हम पहले सर्विस देंगे, जो पहले इन होगा उसे वो पहले आउट होगा, राइट? ओके, सो दिस वाज द बेसिक। नाउ कम टू द ऑपरेशंस। In the similar way, we have operations in the other data structures. In the same way, we are having operations in the queue also. So insertion, so first fundamental operation, and in any data structure it will be insertion. So insertion will be referred as in queue. So don't be confused. In queue means it's insertion. That means you are going to insert any element into the queue, right? So this will be our first function. Next function or next operation we can have deletion. So in case of stack, we will refer it as DQ. That means deletion operation, right? Next, in case of stack, also we had peak. Have you remembered, guys? We had peak.
Yes, sir.
At
The
the
top.
time, peak means top, right? In case of queue, what we can refer it as front.
Front.
If I want to access the first element of the queue, we have to peak the element, and in case of queue, we will access it by front, right?
Yes,
Front indexing. That's why it is also referred as front operation, right? Okay. Next operation we have is full, right? Is full. What it will do? Is full operation or function. What it will do? It will
It
check
will
for
condition.
say that the queue is full.
fullness condition.
Yes,
Fullness
sir.
condition, or we are avoiding which problem by using fullness condition?
Overflow.
Very good. Overflow. That means you are studying. Okay. So for finding out whether the queue is full or not, what we have to check? What we have to check, let's say if I am having this queue and there is element, all the elements are there, 1 2 3 4, and this is our front denoted by F, and this is our rear, right? So what is the size of this queue? Size of this queue is
4.
4. Okay, so because we are maintaining it using array, definitely we are going to program it by array. So what will be the index numbering? 0 1 2 3, right? So to check that it is full or not, what we have to check, whether the rear pointer is pointing to the last element or the last index of the queue or not. If it is doing so, that means it is full, right?
Yes, sir.
That's why it is written over there, rear equals to, we have to check rear equals to size minus 1, right? Because index numbering will be minus 1, that means we have to check for 3. If rear is 3, rear is pointing to the index number 3, that means it is full, right? Okay.
Sir.
Okay, now if is empty, what it will check? What this operation will check? This operation,
Condition.
underflow condition, or we can say emptiness condition, it is checking for avoiding underflow. आप लोगों को क्लियर हो गया है कि जब भी डाटा स्ट्रक्चर में कुछ भी इंसर्ट या डिलीट करेंगे तो हमें पहले ये कंडीशंस चेक करनी पड़ेंगी, ये प्रीरिक्विजिट है आपकी, है ना? तो इसमें यहाँ पे इन्होंने देखा हो कब आपका क्यू कब वो होगा, एम्प्टी कब होगा? आपका क्यू थियोरेटिकली एम्प्टी कब माना जाएगा इन टर्म्स ऑफ एफ एंड आर?
-1 पे सर.
हाँ, जब हमारा फ्रंट भी -1 पे हो, राइट? यानी कि फ्रंट भी यहाँ पर है एंड रेयर भी यहाँ पर है, क्योंकि अभी अगर रेयर होता तो इसका मतलब कुछ ना कुछ वैल्यू होती, अगर रेयर कुछ और वैल्यू होती रेयर की, इसका मतलब क्या होता कि कोई और वैल्यू, लेट्स से इनिशियली आपकी जो आपकी क्यू है वो ये है, तो आपका जो फ्रंट और रेयर इनिशियली आपका यहाँ टारगेट कर रहा होगा -1 पे लॉजिकली, है ना?
सर.
और अगर कोई भी एलिमेंट होगा तो इस इंडेक्स में होगा, तो अगर पहला एलिमेंट अगर इंसर्ट होगा तो आपका, मान लो यहाँ पर आपने पहला एलिमेंट डाल दिया x, तो आपका फ्रंट यहाँ पर आ जाएगा, राइट? और
Yes,
रेयर
sir.
भी यहाँ पर आ जाएगा, और नेक्स्ट टाइम अगर आप दूसरा एलिमेंट डालते हैं इसमें y डालते हैं, तो अब आपका क्या होगा? आपका फ्रंट तो यहीं पर रहेगा x पे, बट रेयर आपका यहाँ पर आ जाएगा, राइट?
यस सर.
तो आपका कंडीशन क्या होनी चाहिए कि भाई आपको फ्रंट और रेयर दोनों को चेक करना पड़ेगा. अगर दोनों की दोनों जो आपकी इंडेक्सिंग है वो -1 पे सेट है, टारगेट कर रही है -1 पे, पॉइंट कर रही है -1 पे, दैट मीन्स योर क्यू इज करंटली एम्प्टी.
यस सर.
So you cannot delete it, right?
यस.
Okay. Last function we have display. This is the same we have used at the time of array or at the time of stack, right? That means we are going to traverse element by element and display the every element of this stack, right? So that this is clear to you guys,
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
and basic working is clear to you.
Yes sir.
Yes.
If anybody having any doubt, let me make it clear. We will have 2 pointers. One is name is front and rear. Front will be used for deletion or accessing the element from the queue, this queue, and rear will be used for insertion, right? Okay, so initially if your queue is empty, that simply means that your front and rear will point to the hypothetical value -1, right? And it's directly saying that there is no element in the queue, if there is element, definitely there will be some value for front and there will be some value for rear, right? So at the beginning, if you are inserting, let's say 9 here, first element here, then your front and rear will target this index number, 0 index number. It simply says that there is one element in the stack.
Index queue.
Okay, next time you are going to insert 10 here. That means your front remains here because you will use front for accessing the element from the queue, and your rears come here. Because from rear end only you are going to insert, so rear will be updated. It will be shifted to the right. In the third time, if you insert 5 here, then rear will target here. If you insert 6 here, rear will target here. If you insert 7 here, rear will target here only. So that's how your rear will move at the time of insertion, right? And at the time of deletion, when you are going to delete any item, let's say you have this queue, filled queue, 9, 8, 7, 6, 0, 1, 2, 3. At the time of deletion, what you will do? You will access it by F0, right? You will access it by F0 and display it into the console display, and you will update F. Now F will be updated. Currently, when you are accessing this first element, F was here at 0 index, right? And once you deleted the item or displayed item, or after deleting the item, you have to update it. Then your front will move to the right here. Front will target to the next index number of the array, right? Right. So that's how it will work. So I think everyone knows. Got my point, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now come to the implementation part. Let us implement it, right? So at the time of implementing, we will first define a main function, and in the main function, we will define these operations like this, right? We will first in Q2, we will first second in Q5, then in Q -1, then display the elements of the stack, then peek the element, then dequeue, then peek, then display, right? So we are going to implement like this. Let's say we are having this type of procedure where we have to insert 3 element first, then 3 element first into the stack, queue, and then we have to display it. Then we have to display the first element of the queue. Then we have to display, then we have to delete one element from here. Then again check that what is the first element right now. And now at the last, we have to display complete stack. So can anybody tell me in the given code what is happening here? I am saying hashtag define N5. What it means? Is it visible to you?
Q.
Define.
Of queue.
Defining a constant value for our q, which is 5, and
Yes, sir.
n will be we will use n as a size. We will pass it into the size position, right? And for front we will use F. For rear we will use R, right? Okay. Then I am defining an array named q, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that happening here, right? So it is a type of it is an array, and with the name q, so that we will make it we will understand it as a queue. That's why I have given the name q, right? And in the array we have defined the size of n, which is our 5. That means it will create an array of 5 element, which will be named as q, right? It is our q. Okay. Now I have initialized rear and front as -1, right? What it means to say that initially, because our queue will be empty, definitely our f and r, front and rear, will point to this location only, hypothetical location, right? Okay. Okay, now we have initialized. Now come function by function. So first we have enqueue function defined there in the main function. So we need to provide a definition for that only. So we will make a function named enqueue. Is it visible to you? Enqueue. This is enqueue. Enqueue, right? And at the time of enqueue, I am taking an argument which is integer type. So I wrote here int x. So x will be the element variable name which is going to be inserted at the time of enqueue operation, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, at the first statement, what I am checking?
Fullness.
Okay, that's correct. So first, before inserting any element to the above mentioned queue, we will check that whether the queue is full or not. If it is full, I cannot insert it, right? So I am checking rear. I am checking rear equals to n minus 1. You may write size minus 1 also, but because we have used n for size, that's why I have written n minus 1, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if this condition true, then simply print. You cannot insert, or it is overflowing, right? So you cannot insert it any item in this. Now, if it is not the case, then we will check emptiness condition. Else, if it is not full, let us check if it is empty or not. So for that, we have to check these two conditions: rear equals to minus 1 and front equals to minus 1. Right?
Yes, sir.
So if this is the case, and this is matching with our case, initially I don't have any item in our queue, right? So it is matching. So what we will do inside this else if, we will simply set first rear and front equals to 0, right,
Yes,
guys?
sir.
Obviously,
Yes,
if my queue is empty and f and r is set here, so before inserting, now I got to know that my queue is empty, right? So I need to first update these pointers, front and
yes,
rear. After that only we can insert any item,
yes, sir.
right? So that's why I am going to first set our front and rear equals to 0. Then I will simply insert x, because we have chosen x variable name x at the time of argument passing. So we need to insert it, and see here I am inserting it via using which pointer? Rear.
Yes, sir.
That's why it is written rear only, because front we will use for accessing the data, not for inserting. That's why we have two pointers here, because sometimes you have to access the data and you cannot use single pointer for accessing the data and also inserting the data in case of queue, because it is bi-directional operation, right? It supports bi-directional operation only. So that's why you are going to insert any element using rear only. Okay. So after that, if this is not the case, first case is fullness, full भी नहीं है, आपकी empty भी नहीं है, then what we have to do? Can anybody tell me?
Increment.
अभी आपका यहाँ पर एक एलिमेंट पड़ा हुआ है, तो अगर यहाँ पर एक एलिमेंट पड़ा हुआ है तो यहाँ पर फ्रंट भी यहीं पर है और रेयर भी यहाँ पर है, तो हमने फुलनेस कंडीशन भी नहीं है ये, और एम्प्टीनेस कंडीशन भी नहीं है. अब मुझे क्या करना होगा? मुझे अगर y को इंसर्ट करना है
Rear in,
तो क्या करना होगा बच्चे?
Increment.
किसको इंक्रीमेंट करना होगा बच्चे?
Rear position.
Yes, because we are using rear pointer, that's why we need to first increment our rear so that it will point to the next position, and then only we can insert it, right? Then only we can insert here, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's what we did. After else if, we again put an else condition here, and without checking any because we already checked emptiness and fullness, so we don't need to check any other condition here. So we directly can insert the item. So we will first increment our rear and insert the element at that specific position, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's how our inq function looks like, right? इसको ध्यान से समझो बच्चे, क्योंकि आपको ये इंप्लीमेंट करना है बच्चे। सेम चीज है, इसी लॉजिक को आपको इंप्लीमेंट करना है, और मेरे को तो लगता है 90% तो आपका कोड यहाँ पर गिवन है ही, राइट? चलो, नेक्स्ट फंक्शन वी हैव dq. Next function we have dq. So at the time of dq, you need not to pass an argument, right? आपको जरूरत तो नहीं है, क्योंकि जब dq परफॉर्म होगा तो वो एक एलिमेंट को उठा के उसको डिलीट कर देगा।
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in this case, dq case, we don't need any argument or any naming. It can, you could have, if you don't know the index numbering on earlier, then you can use that only. But if you don't know, then don't put any argument here. It's not needed, right? Okay, in the dq, we will first check for at the time
Emptiness.
of emptiness. Okay, so we will check condition whether the queue is empty or not, because if it is empty, we cannot delete any item from that. Okay, so we'll check if front equals to -1 or rear equals to -1, and not rear, or it is and, right? So we'll check both the condition. If both holds true, that means it is empty, your queue is empty, so you cannot insert it. Simply print. You cannot delete any item because
Wonderful.
queue is empty, right?
Yes, sir.
If it is not the case, there are some elements in the queue, then you will check else if front equals to rear. What will be, why I have put on this fragment here? क्यों चेक कर रहा हूं मैं ये फ्रंट को की इक्वलिटी मैं रेयर से क्यों चेक कर रहा हूं?
एम्प्टीनेस सर।
एम्प्टीनेस तो हो गया बच्चे, एम्प्टीनेस तो इफ में हो चुका है बच्चे, कहाँ ध्यान है? पैरेलली साथ साथ में देखते रहो ना। एम्प्टीनेस तो हमने यहाँ पे चेक कर ली इस पॉइंट पे, यहाँ पर क्या कर रहा हूं मैं?
फ्रंट और रेयर एक ही मतलब इंडेक्स पे।
हाँ, फ्रंट और रेयर एक ही इंडेक्स पे है, तो ये कब होगा?
-1 इंडेक्स।
-1 इंडेक्स पे।
नो एलिमेंट सर।
नो एलिमेंट तो ऊपर हो चुका है ना बच्चे, वो तो मैं चेक कर चुका हूँ। तो मैंने ये इन दोनों की वैल्यू को क्यों चेक कर रहा हूँ फिर दोबारा?
सर 0 पे।
हाँ, यानी कि देयर इज वन एलिमेंट इन द, अगर फ्रंट एंड रियर की कोई वैल्यू है अदर देन -1 और दोनों एक ही वैल्यू पे हैं, इसका क्या मतलब है कि आपका सिंगल एलिमेंट प्रेजेंट है यहाँ पर।
यस सर, यस सर।
राइट गाइस?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, you can delete it, right? Right? You can delete it.
Yes, sir.
So if you want to delete without printing, you can directly write front and rear equals to -1. That means you are
Delete.
you are deleting this element. That means your front and rear will be here only now. But if you want to print it, simply print first, then set front and rear to -1. Print element first, q front, then in the second step you can do front equals to rear equals to -1. That means after deletion of this element, your q will be empty.
Empty.
Right? Okay. Now if this is not the case, if it is not empty, and if it is having more than one element, what it means to say, then what we have to do, we will simply, in this code, in this portion, last portion, we are not checking any condition. We are, if both first two condition are false, what it means, there are more than one element, x,
Yes,
y,
sir.
z, right? And front will locate this, and rear will point this, right? So in that case, if you are having more than one element, definitely you are going to pick the front element. You are going to pick front element by using this front, and after that, after picking, you will update this f with this index number. So that's why front will be increased after deleting the element. Right now, your stack will have these two elements after deleting x. Right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is how our DQ works. Okay, now come to peak or front. Peak or front. What it will do? It will display first element of Q, right?
Yes, sir.
So for displaying first element or peaking the first element, where I need to check any condition or not. If this is the Q and we are having x, y, z here, front is this, rear is this, and I need to print this element, right? 0 index. So whether I need to check some condition before picking element or not.
Yes, sir.
Do I, what
Yes, sir.
what condition I should check?
Emptiness.
Yes, because if it is empty, you cannot print it, you cannot access it. So you will check first emptiness. So you need to know that whenever you need to check emptiness, whenever you need to check fullness condition, right? So we will checking first if front equals to -1 and rear equals to -1. That means Q is empty. You cannot display any element. Okay. If this is not the case, that means there is some item in the Q, whether it is there will be one element or whether more than one element, right? So in that case, we will directly print the front element of the Q, right? Is there difference in DQ and peak? Is there any difference you observed here in the code?
Yes, sir.
What is that? In case of DQ, you are deleting an element. That means you have to update front. See above,
Front. Yes, sir.
right? But
Yes, sir.
here you haven't updated your front index. Why? Because you are only displaying the element. You are not deleting any element from the queue. Queue remains same, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's how our peak will be used. Now come to next fourth one. We have display. So by using display function, what we are going to do? Display every element
Element of Q.
of Q, right? So for displaying, you need to check any condition or not. If you want to display this this Q, X, Y, Z, W, 0, 1, 2, 3. This is your Q, and if you want to display it, you can directly display it or not.
Not, sir.
Then what you have to do first?
Check emptiness.
Yes, you need to check emptiness first. Logically, you have to check that whether it is empty or not, because if it is empty, you cannot display any element, right? So first check emptiness. We have checked emptiness here using this if condition, and if it is not the case, that means there are some elements in the queue, 1 or 2 or 3, whatever it is, then we will simply print those elements, right?
Yes, sir.
So for printing, I am using a for loop. So I was initialized with front. Why? Why it is not rare? I am initializing I with front.
Because
Not
DQ starts from the front
it's
display.
not it's not DQ, it's display. And whenever you are initializing it front, that means you are going to access the queue, and access always start with front only. You can access elements of queue from the front only. That's why you have to initialize your I with front. Okay, now I am checking condition I is less than rare plus 1, whatever the rare value, right? In this case, let's say this is front x y z, and this is rare. Don't consider it. Now front is here, rear is here. So you are going to print this way. You will first print x, then print y, then z. So where you have to stop?
When, sir?
You don't know what is the index number of R currently.
No, sir.
Don't know, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Currently it is 2, but because
Yes,
you are seeing it in the diagram, that's why you are saying 2. But let's say you have a queue for which you don't have any knowledge, right? So in the general case, you will check the boundary condition where you need to stop this function, this for loop, right? So where you have to stop it?
Rear plus 1.
Right, because you have to stop before rear plus 1. You have to stop at the rear. So I wrote here rear plus 1. I am not putting equal sign here. I am simply writing I is less than rear plus 1. That means if rear plus 1 is 3 here, that means I need to stop here at 2 only, right? That's why I wrote rear plus 1. This will be our boundary condition for our loop. Okay, next I will increment. Okay, now from front, access the element, see q of I. So it will print first x, then it will increment I. For I value of 0, it will first print x. For I value of 1, for I value of 2, 3, like that. So loop will start from first, it will be 0 because front is targeting to the 0. See here, right? So I will is equals to 0. That means it will print this index, value of this index. So value of this index is for x. Next time when we loop back, we will increment I. What it will be? 1. I equals to 1. And for I equals to 1, it will print y. For I equals to 2, it will print z, right? And now when after this, when it goes back to the loop, it will stop here. Why? Because it is 3 and our rear is targeting at 2. So this condition will be falsified, and that means it will come out of the loop. Control will come out of the loop, right? Right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is all we understood the pseudocode or implementation of queue operations, right? Now you can directly use these definitions. Now at the first statement, I am enqueuing 2. That means what it will do? It will first store 2 here, right? And next it is enqueuing 5, it will store 5 here. Next it is enqueuing -1 store here. R is representing this. Now fourth one we have display, that means I have to display it, so I will get output as 2 5 -1. Okay, after that we have to pick, so for picking we will use front, so definitely it will come, so for picking it will show 2. After that I am dequeuing, that means I am deleting this element, front will come here. Okay, I dequeued one element, that means front will come here. After that dequeue, we again pick the element. Now when next time I am picking the element, it will display 5, right? And after that we will again print, okay, again we are again printing the existing queue. Now this output of display will be 5 and -1, right? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is for peak, this is DQ already done, it is not displaying. This is for next peak, and this is for last display we have, right? So that's how you implement your stack operations, right? Have you all understood it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's all for this class. Thanks.